Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Holly and I am the crafter behind Holly's Hobbies. Today I'm going to show you how to use vinyl and glitter to make a popular cow print style tumbler. It's going to be a matching set though for a mama and a child. I hope you enjoy this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Everything I use is going to be linked in the description box below, and let's get to it. I am beginning this project by trimming the white border off of this cow print vinyl. This vinyl I got from the Vinyl Craze, and this is an unusual measurement. It's a 11.5 inch by 7.75 inch sheet of vinyl. So what I'm doing is I am slicing it right down the middle. So I'm going to use a little over 3 inches for one tumbler and a little over 3 inches for a second tumbler, and I'm going to wrap the vinyls around the tops of both of those tumblers. So I'm just finding the center piece. I'm going to cut it straight down the middle, and then that'll create 2 tumblers just for the top portion, and I will be glittering the bottom sections of both those tumblers. The tumblers I'm using are from the Stainless Depot. This one is a 20 ounce modern curve twist. It has a twist lid. And the second one is a 12 ounce duo. It comes with both a sippy lid with handles and a regular twist on lid. So for the vinyl wrap around the modern curve, that one's very tricky. I could have either cut the vinyl a little bit shorter so that I would avoid the curved section, but I didn't do that. So instead what I did is I just put little slices in the bottom half of that vinyl so that I could taper it as I wrapped it around the tumbler. As I wrap it, you can see me just pressing. I start from the top, and then as I press down, I just kind of overlap those split ends that I clipped with the scissors until they fit around that bend in the tumbler. So this worked out okay. You could still see some of the overlaps, but I'm going to spray paint this and pour 2 layers of glitters over the top of it. So that's going to be hidden eventually anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. And then just to trim off that excess, I used my tape to find the edge, and I just had a little overlap that I wanted, and then I took my X-Acto knife and just trimmed off that excess, and then did the exact same thing with the 12 ounce duo, except I didn't have to put slices in the bottom of the vinyl because there's no taper for that tumbler. So my next step is going to be spray painting the bottom sections of both of these tumblers where the stainless steel is. But before I do that, I'm going to tape off the very bottoms because both of these tumblers are going to have a few coats of epoxy, which is going to make them a little heavier, and which is also going to make it difficult for me to get the bottoms of the tumblers perfectly flat. And this tumbler, this child tumbler, is for a 1-year-old, and I don't want her to have to struggle to put her tumbler down, have it wobble, and her drink spill out. So I'm just making sure they both match. I also taped off the top portion of the vinyl because I didn't want any of that black spray paint to overspray onto the vinyl print. So now I'm applying a very thin layer of epoxy because I'm going to ombre a black and a brown colored glitter. I'm ombreing black and brown glitters together. I'm starting with the black tie from Glitter Heart Co. And then I'm going to ombre in French Press, also from Glitter Heart Co. And then over the top, after I have those 2 colors ombreed together, I'm going to sprinkle Hickory, which is one of my favorite glitter colors from PDB Creative Studio. So I'm going to do that with both. So I'm going to start with the fine black and brown ombre, and then sprinkle a chunky mixed in. It's like a chunky mix with some fine glitters in it also, and that is the Hickory. Then I'm going to let these spin on my tumbler, and I'm going to remove that bottom tape that I put on both of the tumblers. After these tumblers spin overnight, I'm going to come back in, I'm going to apply another layer of epoxy and add more chunky glitters. So this time I'm going to do a black, let me look up the name of it. I think it's a Black Cat, but I don't want to give you the wrong name. It is Blackout. It's a black out chunky mix from Glitter Heart Co. and also Hickory One More Time. So the black out is a chunky black mixed with some fine blacks, and then the same Hickory, and I'm just gonna alternate the two until I like the amount of coverage and they're both blending into one another. Now these tumblers are going to continue spinning again until they're ready for the third coat of epoxy. After that third coat of epoxy, I will sand lightly to get rid of any pokies that are sticking up, and then they should be ready to apply the decals. I chose the Mama Mini decals for these tumblers. I thought that would be super cute. The top layer is a black glossy vinyl, and I'm layering that over the top of a brushed brass colored vinyl, or I guess copper color, that I got from Michaels. And then I decided that I didn't like the way that brushed brassy color looked against the tumbler. There wasn't enough contrast, and so I layered a thicker black piece of vinyl underneath the top two layers, but the bottom black vinyl is going to be a brushed black vinyl. So that gave enough contrast so that the Mama really stood out and it didn't look too brown. It didn't look like brown on top of brown on the tumbler. Applying this decal to the curved tumbler was a major pain in the butt. Why I picked a curved tumbler for this, I have no idea, because I like to make things difficult on myself, I suppose. So what I decided to do is just apply the lettering first with a horizontal line, because I could use that horizontal line to square up the letters to the top rim of the tumbler, and then I can just apply the border after the letters are applied. Because this tumbler curves inward at the bottom, I want to put some cut marks in the bottom of that transfer tape to make it easier to position that vinyl on there, but I still struggled. So when I lifted up the transfer tape, part of the vinyl stuck down prematurely, and then I had to pull it up, and then it was getting crooked, and then I struggled to reposition it, and it was too much space on the right than the left, and it was a headache, you guys, it was a headache. So I did apply it and I finished it and I put a layer of epoxy over it, hoping that you wouldn't be able to see where I had to cut and reposition, but you definitely can, and it bothers me. So because it bothers me, I know I'm gonna stare at it forever until I decide to either strip this tumbler and redo it, or I could use a copper colored marker to try to hide the cuts on the bottom and then just put another portion of that glossy black vinyl over the top. So that's probably what I'll wind up doing, but you'll see the finished product in the end here. So moving on from the Mama tumbler to the Mini, this one applied easily. So I did the same thing. I did the Mini first, and now I'm applying the border. And because this tumbler doesn't have a curve in it, everything went on perfectly, and I'm very pleased with the child's tumbler with the border in the Mini. So this one I'm happy with. And here they are side by side. So they look super cute, even with the flaw on the bottom of that Mama one. They still look super cute. So I'm gonna flip them over and I'm going to add the brushed black vinyl with their names on them. Apply those to the back side of the tumbler. And I mean, this is going to be the front. For the Modern Curve, this is the side that she'll be drinking out of. And for the sippy cup, I wanted the name to be facing the child, so when the child is drinking out of her tumbler, everybody that walks by doesn't see her name, because you know, that always bothers me when people know your child's name but they don't know you. So anyway, just something to think about. So I put the Mama and the Mini on the side that will be facing the public, and I put their names on the inner portion of the tumblers. Okay, so these are now ready to be sealed with Krylon Triple Thick Clear Glaze. So I'm gonna take them outside and spray one good coat on each of them and let them dry. And then I'm ready to apply epoxy coat number 4 to each of them. The Mama tumbler is probably going to get a 5th coat because I have to mess with that vinyl a little bit, see if I like it, or you know, if I apply another piece of vinyl over the top, I'm going to need a 5th coat of vinyl, a 5th coat of epoxy as well. Also, in case you're wondering, the taping off of the tumbler idea I got from VMD Designs. She always tapes off her bottoms, and so when I'm concerned about having a wobbly bottom, when I'm concerned about having a wobbly bottom or a cup that has too much epoxy on it so it becomes too heavy, I like to tape them off. So these are going to get another coat of epoxy, and then they're ready to clean up. So I use a craft knife to clean up the epoxy around the rim. I wash them with Dawn dish soap, make sure they're nice and shiny. I package them up, and I'm ready to give these to my niece. So these are both hers. She's expecting the big one, but she doesn't know that I made one for her daughter as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions about the process of making these tumblers, any supplies that I used. And I appreciate you all for supporting me and commenting on my videos and making me feel loved. So I will link any related videos at the end of this, and I hope you all have a good day.